Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Halloween night is finally here. Now tell me honestly, after an entire month of talking about horror films, it would be wrong not to talk about this one on October 31st, wouldn't it? Now you want to talk about a film that not only inspired me, but the masses of horror creators out there. And the one that simply refuses to stay dead. The one and only true Halloween.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
You can't kill the boogeyman. What's the boogeyman?
Seems to me you're just plain scared.
Yes.
The boogeyman is coming.
You mean you actually never want him to get out?
Never, never, never.
Where to even begin? There are some horror movies that become testaments to the genre, where above scares, thrills, and suspense, they reach the status of cultural significance and far exceed just simply being called a horror movie. John Carpenter's 1978 classic, simply titled Halloween, is a film worthy of this status. The film captures the spirit of October 31st perfectly. From the withered autumn leaves on the ground, to the jack-o'-lanterns on doorsteps, to the musical score that haunts the film, composed by director and writer John Carpenter himself, which upon hearing the main theme, it is impossible not to feel like it is Halloween. To the film's unforgettable antagonist, the silent, masked killer, Michael Myers. The film was a massive success and has spawned an incredible amount of sequels and spin-offs, both on film as well as on paper. But to simply return to the story's roots and see where it all began, the story of Halloween is a simple and subtle tale of how true evil can be anywhere, and without warning, you can find yourself in its dark and mysterious path. Halloween night, 1963. In the small town of Haddonfield, Michael Myers, as a young boy, age 6, put on a Halloween mask, took a knife from the kitchen, walked upstairs, and murdered his older sister, Judith. Michael then spent the next 15 years away at Smith's Grove Sanitarium, consistently under observation by psychiatrist Dr. Sam Loomis, who over time developed the ideology that inside Michael there lied pure and simple evil. And on the eve of the anniversary of his sister's death, during a storm, Michael escapes the sanitarium and disappears into the dark. This is witnessed by Dr. Loomis, and he feels he knows where Michael is headed.
Are you all right? You're all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
On Halloween, 1978, Michael Myers returned home and began to terrorize the small town once again.
He came home.
He begins to stalk a group of young women and creates Haddonfield's most unforgettable and horrifying Halloween night imaginable. Thus beginning a legacy of carnage. Halloween is a perfect blend of pure horror
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
and suspenseful subtlety. The film moves at the pace of a silent stalker. The film is not interested in bludgeoning you with one graphic kill after another, but instead has Michael curiously move about Haddonfield, adorning an emotionless white mask that almost seems to represent the emotionless, silent man beneath.
Blank, pale, emotionless face.
Michael's presence is almost like that of an apparition, and moves about the streets of Haddonfield as mysteriously as the autumn's wind. The movie's atmosphere is perfect, as you can feel the cool of the October air, and the film truly feels like it is taking place on Halloween. John Carpenter uses patience and slowly builds our story with calm and carefully planned moments
Subtle, isn't he?
that know how to make our eyes shift to the darkened corners of the screen. With memorable characters,
Yes, I am.
Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who had the misfortune of crossing Michael's path and is being followed by him. Dr. Sam Loomis, played unforgettably by Donald Pleasance,
You must be ready for it.
is trying to track down Michael
If you don't, it's your funeral.
and is the key character in revealing to us who or what Michael may be, often hinting to the more skeptical sheriff of Haddonfield that Michael is more than just a man, but that he is something of an evil force that may be unstoppable.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Laurie, Dr. Loomis, and Michael Myers make for an incredible trinity of characters that help raise this film's iconic status. John Carpenter knew how to create his characters, making Laurie very memorable when compared to most young characters in urban horror films. Loomis, with all his quotable lines and his mix of calm and anxious demeanor, has become an influence for similar characters ever since. And Michael Myers is not just a masked killer, but is a true enigma that seems to blend pure evil intent with a mysterious motivation that causes him to almost be like an unpredictable storm. At times, forceful. And at others, subtle. And at others, something else entirely.
Well, did you get my beer? Cute, Bob, real cute.
Throughout the film, the kids of Haddonfield speak about the boogeyman, who is coming to get you.
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
It is impossible not to feel that somehow, like some dark force of nature, Michael is that boogeyman, and has come to Haddonfield on the scariest night of the year. It all leads to a climax when Laurie and her friends mean to spend Halloween night babysitting, and Michael becomes the full-force killing machine that Dr. Loomis tried to warn us all about. Michael kills and terrorizes his victims until a final chase scene that is among the very best of the genre. Leading to an ending that was not only inspiring, but has downright become the staple that countless films try and mimic. But it was never more memorable than in John Carpenter's Halloween. The atmosphere, the characters, the music, the mask, and how its white face can pierce the dark. The presence that the boogeyman is out there somewhere. The forewarning of mayhem, delivered by Dr. Loomis.
I told everybody!
And clever touches, such as the kids in the neighborhood believing the old Myers house is haunted.
Every kid in Haddonfield thinks this place is haunted. And then maybe you're right.
The unsettling way Laurie sees Michael, almost as if it could be her imagination.
It's ridiculous.
And it all taking place on Halloween night, make for such a great film that is undoubtedly a classic.
Totally.
That I will watch repeatedly, whether it is October or not. And honestly, I don't even want to choose a scene for tonight's episode, as I almost would rather just celebrate the entire movie as a whole. But in keeping tradition for this entire month-long series, I will. So without further ado, tonight's scene.
It happened in here. She was sitting right here. He could have seen her through this window. Standing on the lawn, he could have seen inside. You must think me a very sinister doctor. Oh, I do have a permit.
Seems to me you're just plain scared.
Yes. Yeah, I am. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do we do?
He's been here once tonight. I think he'll come back. I'm gonna wait for him.
I still think I should notify the radio and television.
No. If you do that, they'll see him in every street corner. They'll look for him in every house. Just tell your men to keep their mouths shut and their eyes open.
I'll check back in an hour.
John Carpenter's inspiration to write this scene was actually based on a real moment in his life when he was visiting a mental institute in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, when he actually viewed a young patient that fit a very similar description. It always stayed with Carpenter, so he used that moment to help create the mental image of a young Michael in the sanitarium. I am also proud to say that I myself was fortunate enough to visit the very same hospital in Kentucky. I was lucky enough to have a connection that got me inside, and I was able to walk about the hospital, being given a personal tour late at night. I feel that between the film's subtle moments and its full-force horror moments, there is this wonderfully delivered scene. Loomis talking about Michael while standing in the very room where everything started, with his delivery that only Donald Pleasance could have done, makes this scene simply iconic in every way. In a film that no matter when you view it, you will believe that outside, leaves are falling from the trees, and it will have you wondering if each strange sound you hear is maybe just that of trick-or-treaters, or if maybe it is something else that is purely and simply evil.
Beyond the classics of the Golden Age, this was the film that started so much of what the horror genre would become. Halloween and Michael Myers well deserved their place with the icons among the icons. And even with countless sequels in the works and still being released, nothing feels quite like this 1978 original. A perfect film to play on a cold Halloween night when the neighborhood is adorned with jack-o'-lanterns and you are sitting at home with a big bowl of candy waiting for the next group of ghosts and goblins to ring your doorbell.
Is that you making all that noise out here?
Call the police. Tell the sheriff I shot him. Tell him he's still on the loose.
Whoa, hey, I don't know who you're talking about, but I need you to keep it down a little bit, okay? I'm trying to make a video in here. I've been working on it all month long. I'm working myself to death in here.
You don't know what death is.
Hey, hey! That way! What a strange man. I think he could use a good psychiatrist. So then he says to me, "You don't even know what death is." Me. What a weird guy. I don't know. Halloween does that to people, you know. Well, I mean, you know that more than anyone. So, what you been up to tonight? Oh yeah. Yeah, tonight's a work night for you. How's that going?